Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the World According to Me. Today, whenever this time is, it's today. Today we're doing a Big Brother season 26 review. For long-time viewers of this channel know that in the past I used to do a Big Brother weekend review, where every Thursday morning, I would talk about what happened the prior week, from the last Thursday to this Thursday, and I would talk about what went down. I would talk about what had happened um, during the um, not live streams, but the live feeds, and we'll talk about what we saw in the show or anything like that. I'll give my updates and maybe some predictions of what was going to happen that night, everything like that. I stopped a couple years ago because um, I think I stopped a couple years ago just because I wasn't feeling it anymore. I actually think I stopped. Let's see, when did I start? I still have my stuff up here, but I believe I stopped after season 24, right? Uh, yeah, I stopped after season 23, and that was the cookout season, and I stopped during that season because of what was going on with everything, with the cookout and everything like that, and the hypocrisy and the ridiculousness of the fan base and the people in the house and everything like that. People didn't understand the fact that why the cookout was bad and why it would be okay to deem it racist. Was the fact was that this was a alliance that was built. The only thing that they had in common was the color of their skin. A lot of them, they didn't like each other. We saw Big D didn't like um, the older woman, um, Uzama or Uzo, whatever her name was, didn't like Xavier. Well, she liked Xavier, but since Xavier didn't like her, and she didn't like her, the other one, the child, the teenager, what's her name? I still have some of the other stuff written down. Hannah, she was an absolute. See you next Tuesday. She was not a likable person at all. Kylan was so weird. and then Big Brother Twitter found his Twitter account and started going through all of the stuff that Kylan was doing, and Kylan is still kind of weird on the challenge and everything like that. Um, and it was just an awful season and everything like that, and people doesn't understand that when like they alliances like the Brigade or alliances like the alliance Cody had, the season before, or you know whatever alliance that had been in the past, Big Brother, that just happened to have only white people, were not built with saying that, hey, we're all white, let's get in this alliance. That was never the case. It was the things that they had in common that brought them together to then join an alliance. This alliance was only put together because it was black, because they were black. And that was the only thing. And it really it disheartened me to this show. And really, to be honest with you, I haven't really been into this show really since. Now the next season, 24, I was kind of into it, and I was going into it thinking, it's I don't know if I really want to put a lot of effort into this show. Um, watching, reading a lot, they're hearing the VIA feeds and things like that, and stuff just happened, um, and it was kind of okay. It was kind of okay, um, but the whole Taylor thing was ridiculous. We had people again saying that she was being bullied, and I hate that. I hate that. I hate that because this is Big Brother. Separate the game from the real world. If you can't do that, don't watch it. Don't play it. Right? This is a different game. What goes on out in the real world with bullying, with kids being bullied because of their weight or how they look or how they talk or how they act or different race or different religion or something like that, stuff on social media, that's bullying. It's awful. And some kids can't handle it and they take their lives. But some girl who, rightfully so, was being ostracized by the house because she didn't have any self-awareness about her or the game or what was going on. She was in her own little world, right? Going out to saying, "This is my finale dress," and everybody taking it as, "Wow, this girl thinks she's actually going to be there on finale night." All of that stuff, and they did, and they didn't, you know, she was right to be ostracized. And guess what? When they came back around, they got together and they started to use her, right? They brought her into an alliance. Perfect, right? That's how that game is. That's how the game is. You get ostracized, but then maybe your game could turn around in a second, and that's what happened with her. And if it stayed like that, it would have been okay. But then we had the race stuff again, and you know, and again we had a bunch of hypocrisy and a bunch of stupidity from the house guests, especially Michael, who was on his way to having a rightful claim as being the best Big Brother player of all time. He was going to have a rightful claim at it. But when Kyle wanted to do something he wanted to do, he's not going to try to make it, to turn it on Kyle, to use it to turn on Kyle. And him and his little short little, friend, fit her name, they're going to turn it on Kyle so that the house would vote out Kyle so that you turn around to get him out of the game. If what he said was really bad, how come you didn't go and say it on the first time? When you first said it, why didn't you say it? Why? Because it wasn't really bad, was it? No, it wasn't. It wasn't something bad to say. For him to say out loud, for him to even think. Because guess what? If you're a white person, if you're some other race, and you see that there's a lot of black people in the game, why wouldn't your first thought be, I have to watch that out because I don't want another cookout. Because let's just give the cookout credit. Let's give the cookout credit. Even though I hated the reason why they came together. I truly despised it. What they did, strategy-wise, was masterful. Each picking out a number one, a quote-unquote number one, so that if they won, they could, try to steer them away from putting up two of the two black people at the same time. Take that advantage away, so that then they will still have the numbers somewhere to try to get or find a way to get the numbers to keep that person in the game and without the non-black person. Amazing strategy, absolutely amazing strategy. So then why wouldn't you say, well, they can do what the cookout do? It's a rightful, not racist, rightful thing to think about. And I bet you Michael thought it was too. Now maybe Michael said, well, come on, Kyle, you can't necessarily do that. But it wasn't until weeks later until he finally told the people, told Monty and Taylor and everybody else that that's what was, that was the thing to think about. And, that's what Kyle wanted. Kyle wanted to look at it. So it, that was ridiculous. And then they had the whole meeting and everything like that. It was just stupid. It's absolutely just stupid to even go there. And then the biggest piece of shit happened of this game, right? Where somehow Taylor gets to the final two against Monty, a guy who played a great game and should have been the rightful winner. But because Taylor gave some dumbass speech about, some dumbass speech about, being a black woman or whatever else she talked about, she's always the winner. For years, I've said the worst winner of Big Brother was Adam, and that's from season 9. And I said that just because he took his winnings and started to try to create a drug ring with it, or whatever he was doing with it. Whatever he was doing, I don't know. But that's what I've always said. It was just Adam. It's Taylor. She's the worst winner in Big Brother history, without a question. Without question. So there's that, right? That really sickened me. And then there's Big Brother 25, which was okay. It wasn't anything special, but I think things turned around the way it should have been, and the twist of having Siri from Survivor play with her son, I thought was kind of interesting, and everything like that. And then that Izzy clocking in on the first night, was I think it was kind of fun to see her integrate into that alliance with Jared and Sari and things like that. And then because Jared liked the Asian girl, I can't forget her name, but I can't remember her name, but she knew and she kept it secret. So and then there's other things going on. I'd be honest with you. One of the things I do like about it is that sometimes when the pretty girl goes a long way. I hope. Another reason why I didn't like season 23, Whitney, was she should have been there a lot longer. She was on the first 3 to go, and it was tough. I think that's that needed to be that needed to be. She needed to stay around a lot longer than she did. But anyway, um, and this is Riley. Riley left the second week, so that was not good. So, but I don't know. I thought it was an inoffensive season, and Jag was a very he wasn't a bad winner, wasn't a good winner, but I think he was good enough. Between him and Matt, I think he played the best season without question. So it's a good enough winner. Had no problem with season 25. And I was not really ready for this season 26. Was not ready for this season. Going in, I just thought, again, as as it's been in, my interest has been waning a little bit, going back to the cookout. So I was just not into it at the most part. But once it gets started, obviously you get into it a little bit. So it's always like that. So you kind of dread it because you know it's gonna take up a lot of your time to try to figure out what things happen. But if it gets good, or there's some good characters on there, or there's whatever, then yeah, you can like take your time and you start getting into it. And as we started, I thought it was interesting. I thought the Ainsley twist this year was pretty good. I liked it. The AI stuff was also good. I liked the three nominees. I thought was an interesting twist. I love the fight for safety. I've always wanted that. You know, I think I think Big Brother. I've always thought they should like change the rules, because the one thing I hate is the back door. I hate that. Right? I hate the back door. I hate the fact that it's used so liberally now. A back door just used to be used for someone who they thought was a threat, and a good enough player that could win part of it or take themselves off the block. And it started with season 5 and Nicole Miss Jennifer with her 5-finger plan of doom, whatever it was called at the time, before James from season 6 renamed it a back door. And the way and if it was used just for that, maybe I wouldn't have such a problem with it. But over the last decade, it is used so liberally for everything. I mean, it's week effing one, and they're talking about backdooring somebody just because they think they're going to be a threat. And it's weak, and they have not proved. These players have not proved that they are the threat that people think they are. But because they're just afraid of them, and they backdoor, and it is just, we have to, he's such a big threat, we're gonna have to backdoor him, and I hate it, and it's just ridiculous. And by the way, get this out right now. A backdoor is when the other person has no shot of taking themselves off the block. The target has no shot to take it off the block. So so a backdoor. I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to, there was no true backdoors this season, because we had these 3 things, and then we had the AI arena. So I don't think there were any true backdoors. Maybe Leah. I can't remember if Leah played. I think she did play in the veto that Kenzie because Mackenzie backdoored her. So I don't think there were any true backdoors this year, but a backdoor is what happened in season 5 with Jace, where the 6 people the 6 people who played, and then the veto is used, and then the veto replacement is put on the block, and then that goes home. That's a true backdoor. If they played in the veto, if they played in the veto, or if they played in some type of other thing that would keep them safe for the week, it's not a backdoor. In the AI arena or whatever, it's whatever it is, it's not a true backdoor. Anyway, but I love, but going back to fight for safety, The reason why I got into that is because fighting for safety, I love that. Because another thing that I hate is people, and Joseph was like this guy this year. You know, Leah was like that too, kind of. Where they're not willing to really try to do anything, try to win anything. They just want to sit back and let everybody else do things, and I hate that as well. And if I'll never be able to play it, but if I were to play Big Brother, that would be one of my first things. If I was sitting back and I was looking, and I say we got to like I was the like head of household in 6 weeks. People might think this is stupid, and I might think so as well. Looking back on it, but if you've not been on the block, if you've not won anything, I would, without question, think about putting you up on the block. You up on the block. Even for the sake of just even maybe just not even use you, because if there's a bigger target that needs to go, and you know, and really thought you needed to go, okay, he would be a backdoor, he or she would be a backdoor thing, but I'm putting these two up, and I'm not telling them that they're pawns. I'm going to, I'm going to risk the type of thing of being nominated by them. I'm going to risk nominating them by putting them two on the block and not telling them until I need to tell them. But they're going up on the block because I want you to fight. I want you to play for something. And for a while there, maybe not Leah, because she wanted to win, but you just couldn't. But Joseph was like, he said, I don't want to win anything, and I hate that type of gameplay. I'm taking that out immediately. If you're gonna win this game, you're gonna fight for something. So, and I think that's how it should be. You should be able to fight for your safety. That's why I think they should really go back to the old way of doing before season 5. Season 5 is when they changed it. Seasons 2, 3, and 4, everybody played for veto. All of the house guests played in the veto. In season 5, they changed it to only 6. I would go back to having everybody play, so at least everybody would at least have the opportunity to play, because they would keep themselves, because they would never say, I don't want to get back to it. So that was this season. That was what that was. So I think the season has some promise. Angela was a real turnoff. I know some people like Angela because she was like she was nuts. And she caused drama and she did like this, but she was a pimple on the ass of Big Brother. She was just ignoring and other times, and 50-year-old woman, making fun of Matt and how he looked, and making fun of Lisa and how she walked or talked or anything like that. It's just got off. She was annoying. She lasted longer than she should have anyway. Way longer than she should have. She should have never get past week 2. Never. She should have been gone week 2. Did that to Riley, but anyway. Quinn wasn't that great either. Some people like Quinn. He wasn't great. I didn't like them. This was a very unlikable cast for a variety of reasons. Tucker was likable because Tucker even though a lot of things he did was stupid about volunteering himself on the block, being on the block, using the veto on someone else. And he could do that because he had the AI arena, but volunteering himself to go on the block, there's a lot of, he wasn't perfect, but he was the best part of the show. And that's why he won America's Favorite Player. I believe he's the first person to go out pre-jury to win it, to win the America's Favorite Player. I think he might be the first person to do that. So Tucker was likable. Cam was likable, but Cam didn't do anything really. At the beginning of the season, he flirted with Leah. In the middle of the season, he flirted with Mackenzie. And at the end of the season, sat on his ass and did nothing else. He was the perfect person to take the final two, either in Mackenzie or Chelsea. You know, he was the perfect person. I'm surprised, give Mackenzie credit for taking Chelsea, thinking that she had the chance, but no, she couldn't read the room. I don't think she couldn't read the room, and she couldn't see that Chelsea had a lot of friends out there. And I would have and even if Mackenzie thought that she had at least 3 votes, sending Cam out would have gave Chelsea the 4th vote. And I would have thought that would have been the way to go. That's not something that I would have done. I said, okay, yeah, that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make sure that Chelsea would be my 4th vote, and she could beat Cam easy because Cam didn't do anything. He won 1 competition, and she thought he was throwing a competition, and she could have used that in her speech. I never threw a competition. I believe my opponent here did. A lot of things that she could have done to try to win, but she took Chelsea for whether it's women power or she wanted to go up against a competitor or whatever. But whatever the reason was, it backfired. She didn't win. But Mackenzie was likable. Mackenzie was likable. There were times when Rubina was likable, her being with Tucker. Yeah, I think Lisa was likable for a little bit. I know that people in the house got frustrated with her because of her glitter shit and everything like that, but Lisa was reasonably likable. None of the other ones wasn't. They had flaws and they had other things that just really turned me off. And once Tucker left, again, I was not, I was not really all that into seeing who won because I thought he was the best one. And Tucker, that type of player, that's the type of person that you want to see get to the end because of the things that he did. And that could have happened, except one, again, he volunteered to be on the block, and 2, T-Core, his quote-unquote lineman, put him on the block. And that's another thing that frustrates me about Big Brother. Like people want to use pawns, and again, and that's a bit of a scared game. Let's talk about old school Big Brother and new school Big Brother. And I don't even know if this is part of old school Big Brother, but why not just put up 2 people that you think could be in the house, right? Why couldn't you just put up 2 people that you think could win the game? Put up 2 targets so that at least one target goes home. Now I understand putting up a couple, a duo, and even though one person may be stronger than the other, you put them up because you don't want that person to take down the strong person. I understand that. doing that. But this whole pawn thing and volunteering to be pawns, that's like folks who go to here, like that's got to stop y'all. Yeah, stop that. Stop volunteering to be pawns. Stop being okay with being a pawn. You know, and at the very least, you know, or at the very least, even if you're okay with being a pawn, like don't let the head of household know it. Don't let the head of household know it. You know, let them be fearful enough to know that if you're a pawn, you're not gonna forget this. You know, you're not gonna forget this. This, you know, let them put some type of fear in it so that at least they think twice about using you as a pawn. Because if you just go, well, I don't really want to be a pawn, but if you're saying that I'm 100% okay, then okay, let's go for it. No, come on, guys. No, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And that seemed to happen a bunch this season, and that's something that is fresh my shit. That's my grandmother, and as my grandmother would say. Um, this means get on my nerves. So, so yeah, and you know, so the best part of this season, I think there were two parts of this season that I really enjoyed. One was the AI instigator. Of course, Tucker got it, and and the first one he did, it hurt Rabina. So he kind of pulled back a little bit. And over time, he started doing more and more something like this, where he called out Chelsea and with these AI deep fakes, and he was called out Chelsea, which I thought was smart. And he called out some other people, things like that. Again, I think it could have worked a lot better maybe if he wasn't on the block, if he got off the block, anything like that, because everybody was thinking it was Angela, which was perfect. You know, people thought it was Angela. There was some talk about maybe it being Tucker, but a lot of them said, well, no, he wouldn't have said what he said about Rubina. So there were some things there. People were mostly focusing on Angela being the person. So it could have worked perfectly um, for him and everything like that if he was on the block. I like that. Um, see, I had the other one that I liked. Oh, I like the fact that at one point, watching the live feeds, we got to watch them watch TV. If that makes any sense. They got the opportunity to watch the first episode of The Summit, which is the new reality competition show on CBS. So we got to watch them watch that, and I found that fascinating. Because even though they were just sitting there watching TV, they were commenting on it, just like we do. Just like we comment when we watch the shows, we comment on it and tweet about it, and things like that. And that's what they were doing, and that was fascinating to watch. Um, yeah, and then that's the two best parts of the season, really. Um, although I did enjoy the fact that I think twice Quinn had somebody in his alliance go home by his hand, basically. Right? I found that interesting as well. So when it came down to the stretch, Mackenzie and Chelsea, they dominated. Because what happened was, and I will say this too. I think the turning point was um, Leah's HOH, um, and it was Leah unable to win her game because her plan was, because the two power vetoes, it was you know, Angela won the original one, the main one. There was a second veto, but Leah would have to play a game and win that game to be able to use her veto. And apparently Leah's plan was to use her power of veto and put up Chelsea, while Angela would use her power to put up T-Core, and T-Core and Chelsea would be on the block. And I think there would have been a great chance for Chelsea to go home. I think that's what Angela was wanting to do. She was wanting to get Chelsea out of it because Angela saw what Chelsea was doing. And I think that was a turning point. Because if she could have won that game, put Chelsea on the block, that would have been a totally different game. Because then people would have gone after Mackenzie. You know, because she was the next strongest person probably. So, but Chelsea Mackenzie, they won like the last 4 HOHs after that, 5 HOHs. And it was just a domination. The final 2 was a good final 2. Those were the 2 best players in the game from a competition standpoint, and at least from Chelsea's standpoint socially. You know, and she was with Quinn. She had T-Core thing with the black women stuff. Rubina said something about women of color as well, so she has that. So then she had Cam being Cam was not gonna vote for her after she called Cam out several times for wanting to be with Leah or Mackenzie more than wanting to be with her. Yeah, at least in a sense. Well, actually, I think it's both. Not only both romantically, but also in the sense of the game. So yes, it was just incredible. And again, like I said, I didn't like Chelsea either. I thought her when she voted out Tucker, her act was disrespectful and just out crazy. So I didn't enjoy that. But give her credit, she was the best player of the season. She should have won, and she did. So congratulations to her. Again, glad to see Tucker win America's Favorite Player. At the end of the show, I think that was good. And yeah, it was all in all just see, some people saying that this was a great season. No, it isn't. Or it wasn't. I compared this season to season 20. When just the ridiculousness of the season. And how somehow Fauci did not know that Level 6 was in alliance. They just thought that, guess what happened? That they were just 6 people who were not together. But they were together. And the ridiculousness of flipping the votes and voting out people that weren't supposed to be voted out. And Fessy putting up his own person, Scotty, because he was jealous that Scotty was hanging out with Haley. And all of the other stuff that went to it, it's entertaining does not necessarily mean good. And that's what season 20. Now I will say, the second half of season 20, it got really good because Casey, she started to take control. She started to win competitions. She started to dominate the game, and that was good to see. Oh, which by the way, again, Haley, because of a twist. What was her name? I want to say Beyonce, but it's not Beyonce. Bailey went out on Haley's HOH, which is just like having this season with Cedric and somebody else going out on Quinn's HOH, which is absolutely amazing. and The Blind Side and the things like that. So that's what I thought. I would compare this to season 20. I didn't think season 20 was a great season. It was a pretty good season. I would have given it like a 7 out of 10. You know, maybe even 6.5 out of 10. But it was entertaining because of all the stuff that was going on. And this one is totally. This is a this was a 4 season. This was to me this was a 4, but it was entertaining because of some of the stuff that was going on. So yeah, and it's been it's talked about it. It's been renewed, so it's gonna come back next year, season 27. As for how many more seasons can they do, I don't know. I don't know. There's a season. Um, this is 27. So if they can get to season 30, I think that would be the thing to do. And I think what Julie wants and what a lot of people wants is they want like all of the winners to come back and win and try to win. They want all of the winners to come back and do a winners season like Survivor's done. And I think that would be interesting. Now some of them would not do it just because they don't need to. Right? Their legacy is written in stone. Cody, the greatest of all time, he's written in stone. He doesn't need to come back for a third time. Derek does not need to come back. He's second, in my opinion. Dan has played twice. Won once, was in the final 2 once. He doesn't need to come back and play again. Dr. Will. Dr. Will has played twice. Doesn't need to come back and play again. Yeah, and there's a lot of other people I don't think need to come back and play again. But there's some who do need to come back and play again because their things are tainted, right? Their things are tainted. Like Taylor, she needs to come back and play again. Prove to why you're not the worst winner of all time. Xavier, can you? Because now, if depending on what happens, in the next seasons, if let's just say next season was an all winner season, if Taylor comes back and Chelsea comes back, those are 3 black people. You're not gonna have the numbers to do that again. Now he was on the Anonymous, a new show that was on USA, and he was talking about I've been there, done that. I don't want to play a game like that, and that's what we wanted to see from you, Xavier. Come back and play, the season that you want to play, not the season that someone else wants you to play. And there's many others. Lisa from season 3, she gets a lot of crap because Danielle Reyes was sitting next to her, but she was the first one to win the game because of a bit of jury. Could she come back and prove that reason why she won wasn't because of a bit of jury, because she could play a great game. So there's a lot of things like that. So we'll have to wait and see. I do personally think that yes, maybe if you can get to season 30, that should be the last season. You have 30 seasons of Big Brother, and it can be over and done with and things like that. And you could it also could be a longer season as well. Because again, you're not gonna get all of the winners, right? Especially you can't bring back Adam to the final of this. It's like I said, some people are not going to come back. But for those that do come back, maybe Evil Dick can't come back, I guess, because of his condition in the house. So being around all the people, things could happen, things like that. So he couldn't come back as well. But you do all these things, have all these other things, and you come back and you play, right? There's that. There's, you know, All-Stars 3. You know, we'll have to wait and see, but it's at least coming back next season. So, yeah, you know, I'll probably have some reservations about next year, and you know, whether or not I want to, you know, get far into this, you know. So we'll have to wait and see. We can turn it around, but yeah, we'll just wait and see. Um, so yeah, that's it. That's my review. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know how you guys felt about the season. What you guys thought. What you think of my thoughts and opinions. Let me know down in the comment section. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy, AJTRIP, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.